Well, g'day guys. So today we're going to be breaking down what Huntr X did to make the song Golden such a success. So this is really going to be really fun. So let's dive right in. So first of all, the arrangement is the BPMs are 123. The key is G major. And the one thing to note with the chords are pretty much play the same chord progression over and over and over again. So that's quite an interesting thing. The length is 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and the genre is K-pop, electro-pop. And so if you've been following the kind of the EDM that if you do this kind of music, you'll know you'll see there's a lot of those synth sounds. There's a lot of stuff that you're hearing in a typical K-pop or electronic pop. So we'll dive into that, but keep going with the arrangement here. The intro, one of the things I thought was really cool was the intro has 8 measures, but it has a different groove. It's a very different groove at the very beginning, and they actually repeat the exact same thing at the end of the song as well. So it's a common thread you'll see in a lot of current songs, that the intro is the exact same as the outro, and it has a different groove, a different sound altogether. So then they go to the verse, 8 measures for the first verse. Now, one of the things that you'll find is the first verse, they just have that one singer, and I'll break down the vocals, some of the techniques they did in when we talk about the vocals. But one of the things that they did was from what I understand, it's a 3-part or 3 vocalists in this song. In this group, and so the second half of the next 8 measures of the next verse is the next singers, so they come in and they do their parts. So you're going to find 8 measures for the first verse and then 8 measures for the second verse, but it's a different vocal melody and rhythm. So that's one thing you'll notice. There's lots and lots of parts in this song. There's lots and lots of changes in this song, which makes it really interesting, which makes it kind of fresh. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things going on, and it's super catchy too. It's a very catchy song. So then after they go to the second or the first verse, 8 measures, second verse, 8 measures, which it has different rhythm, different melodies with the other 2 singers. And then the pre-chorus is the 8 measures, and there it drops down. So there's a cool bass sliding notes, and the drums then slowly build back into the first chorus. The chorus goes for 16 measures. Again, that's a long time. And you could break up the chorus into a post-chorus. You could say that the second half of the chorus, there's like a post melody, and it's a really cool melody how they go into on that second half of the chorus, as you would say. But it's a really cool part. Then they go into the bridge. Now the bridge is, they do something called free time. They don't have a click. There's not a metronome going. It breaks down and it goes very fluid, very kind of almost half time, and it just really drops down. There's a piano playing where it's just a piano. And then they go to the pre-chorus, which they go for 8 measures during the pre-chorus, just like before. And there's like these really lush, sweet strings that happen that are really cool. And then it builds up and it goes back into that chorus, which is again 16 measures. And then they also, which has that kind of post-chorus kind of thing, all combined in that 16 measures. And then they do like a tag thing that goes for 8 measures. And this is one of my favorite parts in the song, which we'll talk about a little bit in a minute. But the singer goes, gonna be, wanna be, and does it really kind of double time of it, kind of a faster kind of thing. And it's a really cool groove, or a really cool idea to kind of put in there. So if you're writing your song, as you get towards the end, as it's really building, maybe double the speed of things. Instead of going da 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 da, go da 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 da. So you do it kind of twice in that same space. It's a cool little idea. Then at the end, they go to the outro, which is the exact same as the intro, and it has that different kind of rhythm, which again, very different, very kind of different kind of thing to do. So now let's talk about the instrumentation. There's a lot. This is a typical K-pop, EDM kind of track, electro pop. So you'll find same kind of colors and the same kind of sounds that you might have heard in, or that you might be doing. But one of the cool things that I heard to me that stuck out to my ears that I really liked was the triplet. So there's a triplet. There's this triplet synth that goes 1 and a 2 and a ba da 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 da. There's this groove da 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 da. But then there's also the straight drums. And it's like da 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 da, which creates this kind of really cool vibe that just keeps this moving thing. And the hats are on the triplets too. So when the hats come in, it's like 1 and a 2 and a da 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 da. So it's coming in on that as that straight beat kind of feels. Now, standard instruments, as we said, synths, pads and strings, EDM instruments. Sidechain pads make the kick come through clearer. If you want that kick, that powerful kick to come through, you've got to learn how to sidechain. That's as we talked about, that's a producing kind of thing, but check that out. Make sure you learn how to sidechain. It's a great key to get that kick to really punch through. And you can do it with other instruments as well, just to kind of create different grooves. It has an 80s synth arpeggiation on the triplets in the pre-chorus and in the choruses. So you're going to hear this, like, you might have to use headphones to hear it, but you can kind of hear this dee 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 kind of thing happening. It's kind of like a harp sound, kind of synthy harp sound. Very cool kind of thing, idea. So there's a different groove in the intro. That's the instrumentation. We talked about that a second ago. And very cool trailer hits. Big hits. These big boom, kind of like you would hear in a some sort of movie like Transformers or something, you know, boom, when they shoot a gun or something. Very synthetic, very EDM, very electric, or a computered sound, very kind of that kind of thing, very trailer-esque, as I would say. So let's jump over now to the vocals. One of the things that jumps out to me right at the beginning is the vocals are very dry and very upfront in the mix. Now, in order to get that, when you're singing on your microphone, you don't want to be singing further back. You want to be singing pretty much right on that microphone, which gives it a real kind of, it's really close, and it's mixed a little hot. That first verse, that first vocals are mixed a little bit hot, so it's pretty loud. And then when they get into the other vocals are a little bit further back. But that first vocal and the first vocals that you hear in the first verse, they're very upfront. They're very in your face, and it's quite interesting. It's quite cool. So there's also melodic R's throughout the verses, and after the lead singer sings in the middle, whatever the words are, you got this like all this, tons of these R things happening left and right. They're all in harmony. Lots and lots and lots of vocals in this one, stacks and stacks. And of course, you got 3 singers here, so they're going to be doing harmonies of their own harmonies, and they're going to be doing harmonies of the lead. They're going to be doing. There's going to be stacks. I can just imagine how much lyrics is, how much vocals is happening in this track. Harmonies on nearly all the words in the chorus, so a little bit different than some other choruses that we've heard on other songs, where the harmonies come on just certain words on the end of the chorus, or just any certain word. But these in this song is pretty much a wall to wall of harmonies going throughout, except for the very beginning when everything drops out, and then the first lines of the chorus, we're gonna, starts. That's very dry. Then it's just wall as soon as that first beat comes in of just vocals. It's huge. So the little Easter egg for you guys to check out is at 2:39. One of my favorite parts is gonna be golden, and wanna be, I forget the next word, but it's like da 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 da, and it's kind of double speed of the melody. That's such a cool thing at the very end of the song to kind of build that up. And so the lyrics and the theme of this song, it's more a song about empowerment. How good we're going to be. We're going to be golden, is the word. So an empowerment type song of how good we are going to be. So my top takeaways, these are things that I loved, and I'd love to hear what you think of the song. Tell us what your takeaways of the song. What did you love? The vibe? Do you love the vocals? She goes so high in this song. That's another thing. I think I don't know the highest note, but in the chorus she goes up to a high G, and that's really, 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 really high. So that's why it sounds it kind of has that very high sound. That's a high G up there. So my top takeaways are, I love the gonna be golden. That's called alliteration when you use lots of the G's, it's so gonna be golden. It just rolls off your tongue. And when you're writing songs, you want the lyrics to roll off your tongue. You want it to just feel flowing and almost like you want to say the words gonna be golden. So I love that. And then the second thing, my top takeaway was I love the second half of the chorus, or you could call it the post-chorus, where it changes the melody. It does a different kind of melody. You got the main melody saying we're gonna go up, 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 and so then the second half of the chorus is a new melody, and that's so cool to hear those different melodies. Number 3 is the drums cut out a lot in this song, which creates a lot of different parts. You'll hear the drums cut out a lot. So they're not just going steady throughout the whole song. They're doing lots of build up, stop, play, you know, and then hold the groove for 8 measures or 16 measures, stop, and then build. And there's lots of these stops and starts, and this is a very typical for EDM. There's always these lots of little stops and starts that you want to put in your song. Not often do you, just depending on the genre, but in these ones, you know, it's very lots and starts, which creates lots and lots of different parts. So awesome, guys. So hopefully you got a lot of keys or a lot of tips on why this song is so successful and why it's been on the charts so long. And but yeah, if you love this, if you think this is good, and you want maybe to help this channel or help me to kind of, it's one thing you can do that helps me is like and subscribe, and then that helps the video get to the top of the feed so other people can get it. And also head over to my website at stevecollum.com and consider becoming joining my email list, where I send out listening sessions. I have I offer bunches of different things, and it's a way to kind of keep in contact with me and see what I'm doing and see how maybe you could learn more, or maybe you've got a song that would be perfect for film and TV. I work a lot in the film and TV space. I've had placements on shows like The Big Bang Theory, Honda commercials, Subway commercials. So I do a lot of stuff in the sync world, getting your music, you know, how to write that music, and then also put on film and TV. So I love studying all these songs, and I love learning all these things, and I love then using these little tricks and these little secrets and all these elements. So if you want to find out more of how to do that, definitely get on my email list. And yeah. But other than that, thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully you got a few keys, a few secrets here, and I will see you in the next one.